The way you run your listing process is your brand. It's not your logo, it's not your colors, or what your marketing materials look like. It's the experience that your sellers have from the day they sign with you to the day that they actually close on their home. That's what they remember, and that is what they tell their friends. So, today I'm walking through the complete listing process. So every seller you work with gets a world-class experience every single time. And by the end of this, if you're still overwhelmed and you want a more personalized walkthrough of building your listing system exclusive to you, my calendar link's in the description below. You'll get a free call. We'll go over your listing process and how to hone it and tune it in to make sure that you have an amazing listing experience so you can create repeat referrals. Why your listing process is your brand? Well, most agents think that their brand is their marketing or their photos or their social media. And of course, those things matter, but your real brand and the one that generates referrals and repeat business is the experience you create for your clients. We all know this, right? We want to create raving fans who will then go reiterate to everybody else that they need to work with you too. So a seller who had a smooth, communicative, professional experience will tell everyone they know. A seller who felt confused or uninformed or felt like an afterthought and the communication wasn't there, your process determines which story gets told. So build a process you're proud of, document it, and execute it consistently because that's your real brand. I had a seller who actually found me online. He said he was looking at photos of agents and trying to find somebody whose personality would match. And he said that my smile, he picked 3 agents who had great smiles, and mine was one of them. And I went to his home and I showed them the process from start to finish. I simplified it and I showed them how I was going to get them the result they were looking for. They had lived in their home for 30 years. 30 years in their home. It was original owner. They had the property since the home was built. And they chose me because everything was streamlined for them. They had no concerns that I wasn't going to get the job done. I showed them exactly what we were going to do, and I prepped them accordingly. And guess what? They referred me business. They've been repeat clients for multiple years in a row, and they are raving fans. We got their home prepped beautifully and got it sold in 5 days, and they were over the moon. And there was nobody that they weren't going to tell about it. But you have to know the process, and you have to know how to represent a listing and how to make it an amazing experience for your sellers. So phase 1 is before the listing goes live, before you're on the market. Everything in this phase happens between the moment that you sign that listing agreement and the moment it hits the MLS. It's the most important window, and most agents rush through it. But I tell my sellers, the more effort we put in up front, and my assistants, the more effort we do up front, the faster the home sale is going to go, the quicker and more seamless and less emotional this process is going to be. So first, you're going to order your professional photography, order your videography. It's non-negotiable. Professional photos and videos are the most important marketing investment that you could possibly make on a listing. This requires prep work into the home as well to make sure that those photos are exceptional and that they highlight the beauty and the features and the uniqueness that goes into that property. So you need to highlight that with proper staging, lighting, making sure the home is visual and there's no distractions in there that would take away someone from seeing the beauty in that home. Second, write compelling listing copy. We have Claude, we have ChatGPT, we have AI who can be writing these for you, and it is critical to have strong listing copy. This is a way to speak to the home and create the narrative that makes a buyer feel something about the home before they ever even walk through the door. There's people who will only look at the photos, there's people who will read the listing and read every single detail in it, and it's important that you capture both of those. So the listing copy needs to be on point, keeping everything in there that's not already in your details of the home. So you're not going to say it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. You're not going to say the square footage in the copy. You're going to say everything that is highlighted in the home that wouldn't be found on your listing details. Third, you launch your pre-listing marketing. You're going to post it on social media, email your database, drop the just listed flyers in the neighborhood, and build anticipation for the open house and build that database for when the home immediately comes on the market. So as soon as it goes live, you send out your marketing pieces and your marketing plan is in full force. Then you're going to do a final walkthrough with the seller and you're going to give them guidance on how to have the home ready for tours, tell them to put their blinds up, put their garbage cans away, make sure that they know the process, because you could get a tour that same day, and if you're not prepared and it doesn't look good or feel good or smell good, you could have just lost your buyer. So don't go live until all of this is complete, because a rushed launch can make or break your deal, honestly. It can make or break the sale of that property. So when you go live on the market, the day you go live matters. Tuesday through Thursday, these are going to be prime times. These are the strongest days to launch a listing, because you want it to hit the market in the middle of the week. Everybody who's working their jobs or working their businesses is going to see it the middle of the week, and they're going to plan for the weekend to see the home. So when you go live, post it everywhere simultaneously. As soon as it goes live on the market, on the MLS, you're going to post it on Instagram, you're going to post it on Facebook, you're going to post it on LinkedIn, you're going to get it if you have access to publications, you're going to get it on there. Your database email needs to get this as well, because the more visibility that you can create in the first 48 hours, the stronger your showing activity will be. And when there's strong showing activity, people think it's competitive, and if they want the home and they see somebody else at the property, they're going to want to compete. So schedule your first open houses for that weekend. Make them 2-hour increments so that people have to get in and they only have that 2-hour window, Saturday and Sunday, to pop in, and that's going to create demand. Those first impressions and those first weekends are everything in real estate. While you're on the market, you still need to be marketing the property. When the listing is live, most agents will just stop there and just wait for the showings and hope that something happens, but that's not going to get it done. Every week that it's active, you're doing something to keep it visible. Whether it's a new social media post, you're sharing it with agents around your market, you're doing a price per square foot comparison for the neighborhood, or a highlight reel, or some type of video marketing to showcase the home, and an update to your database can be considered marketing. So you're staying on top of that throughout the time that it's on the market before you get an offer. And as agents are showing the property, you need to be getting feedback from every single tour and compile it and know the objections that they're going to say before they even say it, so you have something to sell them on. So if there's an objection about the RV gate, well, hey, the RV gate's awesome. You can actually open it up. If you just pave it, you're going to have an easy, smooth access. You can put boats, you can put trailers, you can put an RV, and it's just a great way to keep everything protected behind the fence line. And now they don't have to go pay for a space to put their RV. If multiple buyers are saying the same thing, that's your data the seller needs to hear. And that feedback that you give them, that you're receiving from these agents, will help you have data to support a potential price improvement if it needs to happen, if your days on market continue to accumulate, or you come up with an objection handler, whether that's communicating something of value that can overcome that objection, or perhaps your seller actually makes an improvement to the home to accommodate that objection if it keeps coming up. But these active listings require you to be active. So don't go passive the moment that sign goes up and you have your listing on the market. As this is all happening, you're guiding the seller through the process. You're not letting them get discouraged. You keep telling them you're going to find your buyer. All you need is one who falls in love with the property. So that's what we're going for. Obviously, I'm going to try to get multiple buyers interested in your property so we can potentially get multiple offers and get you the highest price and best terms. But all we need is one. So this is part of the process that most directly affects your referral business, is how you communicate to your seller, how they feel about the entire experience. I had a seller last week who said, hey, I'm going to be gone in a month. Can you tell me what the process is going to be at that time and what you need from me? And I'm like, dude, we're on the market. We should, my goal is to get you an offer before you leave in a month. By then we should have an accepted offer, and it'll be a new set of things that I might need from you before you head out. But he was getting discouraged, thinking he's going to sit on the market for another 30 days. I said, hey, my goal is to get you an offer well before that. But should that time come, I'll let you know, 2 weeks in advance of what we may need for you to prep the home. But ultimately, you're just going to head out and we'll take care of it from there. But he was getting discouraged. I knew that. I provided some positivity to get his spirits up. And sure enough, we got an offer 5 days later and we're under contract. So keep their spirits up. They're going to remember that. And that's what's going to get them to refer you business. Typically, what I like to do is create a weekly check-in for these feedback results and for questions about the process or their feelings. So I usually do that on every Tuesday. We talk about how many showings we had, how the open houses went, what objections we've seen, and see how they're feeling about the process. Because sellers who feel informed and taken care of, who don't feel ignored, they're going to become your repeat and referral business. So communicate proactively always. If you don't have a listing process, build one today. I just gave you the bullet points of a listing process. Write down every step you currently take from listing your agreement to close and see where your gaps are. Maybe incorporate some of these things that I had chatted about, add what's missing, and put it in a checklist format and use it on every listing going forward. If you need a pre-listing and active listing checklist, DM me on Instagram at PK Residential or book a call on my Calendly. I'm happy to share my process. But you don't need a perfect process. You just need a consistent, repeatable one. Done's better than perfect. So start with what you have and refine it over time. It's always evolving. Your business is always evolving, just like you are as a person. Your listing process is your brand. Phase 1 of prepping before you go live, having a strong listing launch, and staying active throughout the listing and communicating with your seller every single week is what's going to take your business and your brand to the next level. Do this consistently, and your sellers will not just be happy clients, they will be your best marketing because they're going to be raving fans. They're going to love what you did, and they're going to want to tell other people about it so that they can provide a great experience to their friends and family. If you want help building out your full listing system, like I said, I'm happy to share my checklist. Book a free call on my Calendly below or DM me on Instagram or Facebook at PK Residential.